Hey everyone, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and our weekly Cash or Trash, where we talk about the hot comics of this week. And I give predictions sure to go wrong as I, evaluate what's hot this week and give predictions about what they're going to do over the next 6 months or longer. We had my man Unruly in here tailgating earlier, so I appreciate him doing that. But yeah, so this is the so on Saturdays I do the look back where we look back at the hot books from 6 months ago and see how they performed and what factors made them stay hot or drop back in price. Mostly drop back in price, but occasionally you get books to stay hot. And this show is all about me making predictions, like looking at the factors affecting these books and saying, well, are these sustainable? Are they not? I'm trying to give you guys a more realistic, if somewhat goofy and fun, take on what's going to happen with these hot books rather than just buy. So, Life is Good is here. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Life is good. So this is true. Casey is in the house. Hello. So always appreciate you guys stopping in and hanging out with me on a Sunday. We're a little later than normal. Like to try to get this started around 11 so I can get done before football starts. But hopefully we won't go too far into your football if that is what you're into. Evening from England, Mr. Manic. I am glad that you were joining us. So with that, let's talk a little bit about how I break these down. Ricky, what is going on? Hello. How I divide these and make my predictions. I throw them kind of into categories, not necessarily like give value expectations, but more categories. And our categories are always our straight cash, homie. Books we think are going to continue to increase in value over the next 6 months. And sometimes I talk about this in terms of longer term for books as well. We got our worth it books that I think are probably priced pretty close to where they're going to be, but if you buy them now, you're going to be okay because it's not going to necessarily lose any value. I'll be back to the other side of that, pretty close, but if you're patient, you can probably get a bit of a deal. It's a trap. These are books that are going to drop 30, 40, 50, 60% over the 6 months. We usually have multiples of these every week. These are books that are just bad choices. And then, of course, we're going to end up with a dumpster fire somewhere along the line because almost every week we end up with 1 to 2 to 3 dumpster fires when we do the 6 month look back. So I don't always do a good job of predicting the dumpster fires. I'm usually a little more conservative. Tend to spend a lot of time on the I'll be backs. Occasionally we'll throw in a come on man or a doesn't matter who this character is, so why are we chasing this book kind of thing. So there you go. Let's see. Yes, hello there. Football is over until Saturday. Yes, we know, Unruly, that you care about your Bulldogs and not your Wait, you don't root for your Falcons? What the heck? Mr. Dre, what is going on? And shouldn't you be sad? Your Bulldogs actually gave up to let somebody score. Pathetic, really. Planet, what is going on? Welcome, sir. Well, you guys can go make it up. You guys can go help us out again by returning the favor to the and spanking the Raiders today. So I will be rooting for you today. So there you go. All right. Let's see who else is out there. Ian is in the house. What is going on? Happy Sunday to you as well. All right. Let's dig into this list so some folks can go watch some football. All right. First up. This is a book that's been on these lists 15 times. I don't know. It's getting up there with like the Young Avengers book. It's getting up there with like Dr. Aphra. It's getting up there with, in terms of just number of appearances, like Miles kind of thing. Like this book is on this list all the time. People keep wanting this to be a thing. This is the first appearance of the Midnight Suns. There's also, I think, Lilith's first appearances in here. But this is hitting the list this week because we got some updates about the game as well as a comic release this week. So there's a Midnight Suns comic coming out as well as info about the game that's coming in December still supposedly. So yeah, raw copies on this are going for $25, which if you've been paying attention is on the lower end of typically when this book hits the list. That's actually typically it's more of a $30, $40 book when this book hits the list. Right now it's back up to $25. 9.8 up to 150, also significantly lower than some of the higher sales that have happened with this book. I just put this book has been a yo-yo. People keep wanting this to be a thing. I'm gonna have to mute my. Sorry about that. That came on quick. So I did get it muted in time, I think. So that's good. Yeah, people keep wanting this to be a thing. So far, nothing's happened. I mean, it was going to be Hulu was going to have their whole occult side of things, and that went nowhere with the one show they did. I know we got the Werewolf by Night thing coming, but people keep chasing this book, and really just patience. And if you can find it, yeah, pretty much. This is one I will almost always put down as an I'll be back. It's not going for crazy amounts. It doesn't really drop much below this $25 thing. You know, you can get it for less, but it usually is staying in that $15, $20 range. So it's not gonna like crash out of the floor. If you pay $25, you're probably not going gonna lose a ton of money. It's just not really, there's no reason to chase it when there's an announcement or any kind of news. I don't at this point. The only reason I don't call it like a super trap all the time is because it's not going for some of the values like it was earlier. It's not pushing like $50 like it has in the past. Marvel might be better off if they went to Strixon. We'll see. We'll see what I'm curious to see what people think of that trailer related to Werewolf by Night. But anyway, next we're going to have our one kind of comic buzz book of the week. And that is, what is it? Bone Orchard Mythos, 10,000 Black Feathers. This is kind of a cover / comic buzz, so I put it at the front of the covers. This is the Del Mundo 1 in 100 that is going for exactly ratio at $100. Like, I'm a fan of Lemire, but his stuff tends to not really carry a lot of value. His indie stuff, for the most part. This is a 1 in 100 going for $100. That's not really hot. To me, this is absolutely, yeah. My guess is this is going to settle $40, $50 books. Maybe I haven't read this. It looks interesting. I've heard some decent things from people about just that it had the A cover. Maybe if the book itself really takes off, but even like good Lemire stuff doesn't tend to carry a lot of value. So he hasn't really like put a lot of stuff in production, that kind of thing. So my guess is this fades. Like a 1 in 100 going for ratio is not an indicator of a book that's going to continue to hold long-term value. It is kind of actually a cool cover. It is like, I like that it's a little different, kind of a cool, the notepad thing, but yeah, it just doesn't seem like it. Yeah, old B movie horror kind of stuff. And I have the feeling that's where everybody's going to be on this particular book. Hey, Big Polish guy, what is going on, Matrix? That's what they say. It's supposed to be start of, well, there's actually like a trade paperback that he already released. It's actually the start, and this is the second part of this universe or something, but we will see. Lemire's already done some of his own universes before. With that, we're going to move, though, into our covers. First up is the D23 Humberto Ramos Mickey Mouse variant of Amazing Fantasy number 1000. So we got Mickey with the 60th happy birthday to Spidey. Raw copies of this are going for $330, although most of the sales are with it as a set with the next cover we're going to talk about. So this is the Mickey Mouse version going for $300. And this is, so I'm just going to talk about these kind of together. This is the Spider-Man version going for $300. You know, it's 100 years of Disney. So we got, yeah, so like Mickey was giving Spidey his birthday cake, and now Spidey's giving Mickey's birthday cake. It's going for $325. So they're basically going for the same thing. Like I said, most everybody is buying these as sets. And those are basically what the prices are breaking down to on the set. And really going, meh. I know that the Mickey Mouse cover from a few years ago that they did that was like an exclusive Mickey Mouse cover on a Disney or on a comic with the Marvel characters maintained pretty well. did quite a bit. I don't think either of these is nearly as good a comic. I could not find, so if any of it, I didn't have a chance to really look, but I did not find what the exact print run is on these. I know they were only at D23, so there's definitely a limit to them. But I'm putting both of these as I'll be back. I don't think they sustain this $300 value. I think, I want to say that's kind of where that other book settled. I think it's going for a little more than that now, but I would be surprised if these two hold up as well. Obviously you got Mickey with the Marvel characters, and then you got Spidey with the Disney characters, but I really think this is I'm with Unruly on these. These covers feel a little meh. I don't think they're going to last the way that other Mickey did. Yeah. Look, I don't think they crash. I think there's enough Disney Marvel collectors that'll want these things that they don't crash, but I don't think they sustain these current initial hit the market prices. So I would definitely put these as I'll be back. I think you could argue that they could be a trap, but I would lean toward I'll be back on these two. But I figure they'll settle somewhere 200 pluses. But we'll see. All right, next, our other D23 exclusive. This is Tron 40th anniversary #1, the D23 exclusive. Does anybody know, is this only a D23 book? Is there other versions of this book that you can find elsewhere? But interestingly, I'm curious because I didn't have a lot of time to look through some of this stuff. There was no Uncle Scrooge. You're right. I did not see Uncle Scrooge on that cover. This one's only going for $60 to $75. I assume it's probably a fairly similar print to those Humberto Ramos ones, but the Amazing Fantasy 1000 ones, it's only going for $60 to $75. I still put this as an I'll be back. I don't think Tron is my eyes. I don't think Tron has near the fan base to sustain this at this kind of value. I'm going to go with it because I was leaning toward Trap and then I talked myself out of it. But I'm going to lean this one toward Trap because I think it's going to be like a $30 book, which would be about half price what it is right now. And so we're going to change that. We're going with Trap on this one. It's really because it's not got the kind of audience already. I don't think the cover is particularly interesting. And I don't think there's enough Tron stands to really support this thing. I'm with Ian. I don't think there's going to be the demand. The demand on it's already only 60, 75. I don't think this sustains. And if there's not, here's the weird thing. If this truly is just a book that you could get at D23 and there's no other versions out there, then there's no real market to drive to, I got to get that D23 cover. I guess if you're a big Tron fan, it's I got to get the book, but I just don't know that there's enough of those. Yeah. Tony Stank, what is going on? All right. So that's the end of our covers. We're going to do one DC book, and then the rest of it is all D23 MCU rumors and crap. So tells you, we've done 5 books. We're going to have 6 of the 16. So 10 are going to be the other thing. And we got Blue Beetle #1 from 1986. Now, this is the Ted Kord version of Blue Beetle. But this is the first appearance of Conrad Carpax, who becomes Indestructible Man. And supposedly, he's going to be the villain in the Blue Beetle movie. We're still seeing set photos from the Blue Beetle movie, even though it's going to be Jaime Reyes instead of Ted Kord. But this Indestructible Man is going to be the villain. Raw copies going for $15, a 9.8 going for $250. If they were any higher than this, I would scream Trap on this thing. As it is, I'm just going to say I'll be back. I'm not sure. Here's the thing. Do we even trust Warner Brothers to give us this movie? I don't care if they're still working on it. Given the way everything Warner Brothers and Discovery is doing, does anyone believe that we're actually ever going to see this thing? T+ show, I think. They've been saying that for several years playing Arizona. Yeah. The too many. That's they're supposedly still working on it, but will it ever see the light of day? I have my doubts. So yeah, I would be very hesitant about buying anything like this based on news that's going to be the villain. And really, like if $15, I guess you're fine, but I would still I would be patient on this thing for an average sale. But that's the only thing keeping me from Screaming Trap is the fact that raw copies are only average at $15. I'm sure high grade ones are going for closer to 30, but yeah, that's no. Now, this wasn't technically D23, but we're into MCU with our next book. And a book with a billion copies out there on the market that you can find. Darkhawk #1, the first appearance of Darkhawk. Raw copies are 25 this week, which is down from some of the other times it's been on the list, but up a little bit from where it usually sets, although not a lot. 9.8, 2 to 250. Again, up a little bit, but not near where it's been during other peaks, and not that much higher than typical. And this is because James Gunn tweeted something that basically said Darkhawk was almost in Guardians 3. It seemed to kind of indicate he might be in Guardians 4 or Guardians 2, and he might be in Guardians 3. And so people are chasing this again. I'll believe it when I see it. I would definitely we're still a ways from Guardians 3. I'm putting this in the I'll be back. I put this in the search and back issue bins. I would say at this point, most of the Darkhawks have probably been pulled out of back issue bins. But yeah, I just long Lord Darkhawk. There you go. That's not the way they're going. Like, yeah, that would require Warner Brothers to have some imagination and do something other than just Batman. So yeah. Except it's not 90. Oh, Darkhawk, yeah, it's so 90. It is literally 90s, yes. And wearing flannel. Yeah. And, I know a lot of people love this character, and that's nothing wrong with it. It's just not, I wouldn't consider it a strong investment book. I would always be patient with this one and see if you can find a deal, because there are a ton of them out there, and you can usually find deals. So that's why this one almost is always going to be this for me, because I don't see it ever making a truly sustained leap and being like $80, $100 raw book. I could be wrong, but I think there's enough of them out there. I don't really see that happening. Next, this is one of our weakest. This is our weakest book of the week. Weakest reasoning for the book to be on the list this week. This is Amazing Spider-Man #503. First appearance of Tess Black, daughter of Loki. So this is pure spec. There were no announcements. We got news. We got updates on Loki season 2 that it is coming and when it's coming. And people are specking that we might see his daughter in a season 2 that based on nothing other than, hey, maybe we'll see his daughter. But it's only going for $3. A 9.8 is only hitting 50. When you think about that, that's barely more than what it costs to buy a book, send it off, get it sent off and slabbed and back, and yeah. So I put this as worth it, whatever. They put it on the list because there was a 2,000% increase in sales. I should have went and looked and seen if that meant it went from one sale to 20. I mean, that's probably what we're looking at here. It's not sold his childhood copy of Darkhawk for 20. Still kind of regret it. I mean, you can get it back for 20. But yeah, having your childhood copy is always more meaning for sure. Still has it nice. I think Loki season 2 is going to be really good, and I think it'll tie directly into a lot of the Kang stuff that's coming. So this is definitely one of those. This is a character I had never really heard of. This Tess Black. It doesn't matter what your name is. You are correct, Ian. I'm Spidey webbed him down. But yeah, I mean, it's $3. If you pay $3 for it, what are you really losing? But I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know that I would spec on this very hard. Next, Secret Invasion #1 hitting the list because it's the same title as the show. because there's no first appearance really here. $30, 9.8 up to 175. Okay. I don't know. I'll be honest, I'm blanking, and if you guys remember, I don't know exactly what they're saying the timing is going to be a Secret Invasion, so that could make me wrong. I would still put this as an I'll be back, because my guess is the storyline is only going to loosely at best, and by loosely I mean Skrulls are on Earth and hidden, and that's really how the storyline is going to match up with this. I would guess everything else is going to be very different. And yeah, 500. It's not a hard book to get. Popcorn Culture is right. A big print run on this, and again, it's really just because it matches the same. So I would definitely be all about. I mean, I could be wrong at the 6-month mark if that's when the show's coming out. I'm not sure how quickly that one's going to come out. My guess is it's probably early next year. But I could be wrong on that. I don't know exactly what their show timing is going to be. Or is it coming? Is it the last one of this year? Is it the next one? I'll be honest, I don't even know. I would still definitely put this in I'll be back, because these don't usually hold up very well. It doesn't land till 24. Yeah, never. This is a good policy. Story arcs never do as well. I mean, some of them have value, but they're never gonna take off the way like a character will. I thought it was coming sooner than that. I thought it was one of the next ones coming because they had a full trailer. I'm very confused. Apparently I missed that though. I thought it was coming it's one of the next shows to come. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. I thought it was next spring, which means the timing could make this still be valuable in 6 months when I'm talking about this, is what I was trying to get at. But I think overall, between now and then, it's an I'll be back. And I think after the show, for sure, it's an I'll be back. Maybe right at that moment, it could be a worth it or better. But otherwise, I would just be patient on this. It's what I'm trying to get at poorly. Okay, right after Ant-Man 3. Okay. Wait, well, what's going on, my friend? Rocking a white well shirt today. D-Muts, what's going on? Well, I appreciate you making it. I do. Next up, we got Man-Thing, #1, first solo title, although he appears multiple times, so this isn't like a second appearance. This is just first solo. $80, 9.6 went for 1,000, because we got a glimpse of Man-Thing in just for a second in the Werewolf by Night trailer, which is a one-off. Doesn't mean we're ever going to see Man-Thing again. And even when we have full shows where characters are part of, a few months afterwards, so this is coming in October, so next month. So we're going to be 5 months after. No, you do not buy right now. You do not. If it wasn't just that it had decent value anyway, this book screams trap. But I think being the first Man-Thing, it's going to hold a little bit, but probably not close to this. I put it as an I'll be back. I do think it's borderline trap because it's a one-off. It's not the main character of the one show. He's not going to be in there a ton. Yeah, I would definitely not chase this book. Let's put it that way. Doesn't mean I would just be very patient. I would just be very patient on this one. Clemson Man-Thing for sure. Lots of people. Dude, I wouldn't have missed that really good. Can't hate on Man-Thing. Let's see, Casey's in here. Did I say hello? I said hello, Casey, right at the beginning. Anybody else? There's Matthews joining us. Giant size Man-Thing never gets old. This is from the 74. Did I grab the wrong cover? It was supposed to be the 74 one. Did I grab the wrong cover? I might have. So that's on me, Matrix. They were talking about the 1974. I might have, when I grabbed an image, not been paying close attention and grabbed the wrong cover. So if I did that, I apologize to everyone if I grabbed the wrong Man-Thing cover. So It was supposed to be. I'm supposed to be talking about the first solo from '74. So if I screwed that up, that's on me because I was grabbing photos and I grabbed the wrong one. Oh, that's why I didn't notice it because Tom used the wrong cover too. Okay, because I saw he was doing it. I just found that cover and pulled it and instead of looking. So okay, so I made the same mistake they did. There you go. They do all look alike. All right, next up. So I need to make myself a note real quick before we move on to get the right cover for down the road. Grab correct cover. Okay, so I'm gonna make myself a note so I can fix that. I know it is football time, so see ya. I appreciate you hanging out for a little bit, popcorn culture. Hey, aggressively, what is going on? We're looking for the younger one. That's the middle-aged man. This is examples and Lord. All right, we're moving on from man thing. Next. All right, so we got Marvel Presents #1, Bloodstone. The first appearance of Ulysses Bloodstone, Elsa's dad. People have been speculating on Elsa Bloodstone for a long time. That book's actually been cooling off a little bit. But there's a guy named Ulysses that talks during the Werewolf by Night trailer, according to the closed caption. So people are all out because they're hunting monsters that they're all about now, Ulysses Bloodstone. So raw copies are up to 65. A 9.8 hit 1,000. There was another sale close to 900. This is I kind of want to say, like, if it's Elsa, I wouldn't do this, but Ulysses, really? And a little bit of, come on. It's going to be in a partial character and a one-off thing. It's the same as before, but it's going for this much value. This is, I almost want to scream dumpster fire on this one, but I'll go with Trap. Yeah, Ulysses Bloodstone. Really, we're gonna go after that one. That's the one that we're chasing. Yeah, we're talking about this week's top 10s today, and I'm making predictions. Sure to go wrong because I don't really know what I'm talking about. Vinny, what is going on? So yeah, again, we'll be 5 months past the Werewolf by Night. I mean, he might appear like briefly in that Werewolf by Night special, but I doubt we ever see him again. Even if we do, I doubt he'll ever be a major character. We might see him as a side character in a Elsa thing or something. No, I would not be chasing this book right now. Absolutely not. This is a trap. 100%. Next, we got Incredible Hulk number 256. First appearance of Sabra, who we got casting announcement about for the Captain America. I almost said Falcon. Captain America 4, Captain America New World Order. So we're getting this Israeli superhero who I guess has all kinds of that I'd never even heard of before this. So this is another one of, what? Never heard of this character. Maybe that's me. Maybe the rest of you guys are like, oh. So low end of these sales are 20 to 40ish, but then there's some high grade copies that are going for 100, 120. There was one for 120. There were a couple in the 90s. So really, this is like this book's all over the place. $20 to $120 for this thing, depending on the grade. Although most of the sales are in the lower end of that. A 9.8 hit $900 for Sabra. Do we really think this character is going to be important? Come on. That is a trap, 100%. We're ways out from that movie. So that book is going to fall back. Yeah. Come on. Why are we chasing this? Well, if it's $5 spec 2 years ago, now's the time to get rid of it. If it's doing good. Yeah, that was the thing. Elsa's actually backed up some. Why do we think Ulysses is going to do? Hard pass on the Sabra. She does have a cameo on 250. You are correct, big Polish guy. But this is her first full appearance. You know how that goes because she's on the cover. Who cares? That's right. So that's a trap for sure. Next, we got Truth, Red, White, and Black on the list again. First appearance of Isaiah Bradley. We got news that he was going to return for the Captain America 4. This book now is going for $20 to $40, which is back up, but nowhere near where it was. It's not even up to where 9.82 to 250. This is not even as high as it was back in the spring or back a few months ago when we got the announcement that they were going to reprint this finally. This is nowhere near as high as it was during Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is an I'll be back. This book comes and goes. Just wait and get deals when nobody's talking about it. Look for it then. Doesn't really hold. It hasn't really held value. It's a cool book, cool character. They're going to continue to kind of use him as a side part of Sam's story, I think. But I would not chase this book during news. We're getting some miss. Go into your football, man. I'm going to get out of here as quick as I can. Underrated good book. If you're going to get this book, get it to read it. Don't be getting it for spec. Next, we got a book that was on both lists this week. We're into the Thunderbolts stuff. We got the first appearance of Ghost, $15 to $40 raw, 9.8 for 700. She's already been in the movie. Nobody cared the last time. It crashed as soon as that movie was over. My guess is it's going to crash again. We're a long ways out from the movie. Don't see it holding. Call this in. I'll be back. I mean, I don't think I called anything a dumpster fire this week. I probably should have, but I don't think this is the dumpster fire. Characters like this just have never continued to perform well. I mean, you all remember Ghost's character from that Ant-Man movie. Does anyone think that she's going to be the prominent member of the Thunderbolts when you got Yelena, when you got Red Guardian, when you got Winter Soldier? She is going to be part of the team, but she is not going to be like the focus, in my opinion. And if she's the focus, then maybe this does well, but I don't expect that to happen. This is not a book I would be chasing. Next, more Thunderbolts. There you go, Mr. Red Guardian. This is a book that crashed like crazy after Black Widow came and went. Raws only cost you 50 to 150 right now when it's hot again, which is they were way higher than that back then. 8.0 down to 360 to 400. This is another I'll be back. I don't think any of these hold on right now. Just don't buy them now. This is the thing. Just don't buy them right now. You can want the book. Just be patient. Look for an opportunity. We're a long way from Thunderbolts. The movie's not coming out next year. It's 24. I am right on that, right? That one is 24. Anyway, I think it's 24. And just wait. Look for opportunities. Be patient. Never buy on news. And that goes also for another book that crashed hard after Falcon and the Winter Soldier. These last three books to me are all the same thing. It's like these are characters. They're going to be in the Thunderbolts movie. They're going to play a role. But they've shown that as soon as they appear on screen, the value goes up. And as soon as they're off the screen, people forget about it and the value goes down. And I expect that to continue to happen. Do you think that they'll use him as the Red Hulk instead of, given that William Hurt's gone, instead of Thunderbolt Ross? That's an interesting question, man. I hadn't thought about what they would do with a Red Hulk. Or if they're even going to do that anymore. My expectation was they were probably going to do it before he passed. They could recast if they just leave him in the Hulk form all the time. I don't expect them to do that. So I think that's maybe, but I doubt it. I kind of doubt that that's what the route they go. These are all solid books to have long term. I just wouldn't buy them right now with the announcement. Maybe. There you go. Ravens didn't have any trouble today. They're playing Dolphins, right? Yeah, I'm not a believer in the Dolphins, so we'll see if that. I mean, you can lean into that. You don't necessarily have to have a team with different powers to make it compelling. It's more about the personalities if they do it right. For me, it should be about their interplay, not necessarily how their powers interplay. But we'll see. So that's where I'm at on all three of these last three books. I put them all as I'll be back. All these books related to the Thunderbolts because we got time. I'd be patient. All of these books have been hot before. All of them crashed. The Iron Man 219, the Avengers 43, the Captain America 354. They were all hot. The characters appeared. Those shows or those movies ended or shows ended, and the books crashed. And I expect that's what you're looking at too. So again, just be patient on this one. And with that, I'll let you people go watch football. I'm going to get out of here. It's only 35 minutes, but we only had 16 books this week. Should be back tonight for some. I removed the wrong thing. I went to remove the books. I removed me. He says not sure it came down. It did the last time. It did the last time. You can get it. It's a pretty wide range right now. It's 20 to 70 on that John Walker book when I looked. And I looked to get the range on it because the prices weren't that great. I mean, it was up, $50, $60, $70, the high end of it right now before, and it came down. So I could be wrong, but I expected it will. Chiefs already won, so that's good. That's always good when they got to win out of the way, and we watch other people try to win. So peace, everyone. And John's laughing at me because I removed myself. That's the worst thing I do, that I'm doing pretty good. All right, with that, I'm going to get you guys out of here. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me, as always, and we will catch you guys next time. Later, or maybe if I can find it. There it is. Later.